So I just made the second pass in this Camaro here, which, again, to reiterate, it has an intake, K&N, and it has a Borla catback, an attack catback. So anyways, the first pass, it made 340 rear wheel horsepower and 381 rear wheel torque. So we went through it, and it was a little cleaning up in the air fuel ratio, no timing changes, enabled power enrichment a little sooner, and it went 353 from 340 and 401 from 381. So we're going to keep plugging away at this really quick and see what we can squeeze out of this, and have a nice baseline for the gentleman before we do the camshaft and a bunch of comparison stuff. So thanks, guys. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Kenny again. So we got this 2012 SS Camaro automatic. It has a K&N intake and a Borla catback exhaust. So we put it on the dyno the other day in stock form as a stock factory tune file. It made 340 rear wheel horsepower. Tuned it really quick. It wasn't too bad, you know, but picked up a little bit above the curve. Ended up going 358 rear wheel horsepower with just the tune. So anyways, now we're doing a BTR stage 2 ls3 camshaft. We're gonna get this wrapped up tomorrow, and then we're gonna put it back on the dyno with the stock cast manifolds and everything the way it was. So it'll literally just be a DOD delete and the BTR ls3 stage 2 cam back to back. So we'll get that on the dyno and get it for some comparison numbers. But anyways, it's like the time lapse will show, like, you got to take the heads off and do the lifters, the lifter trays. You got to do a valley cover, the front ls3 timing cover. So it's a little bit of a project. Not too bad. We do a lot of these. But anyways, yeah, it'll be pretty cool. So these definitely sound way better. Waiting on the headers, and in the future we will install the headers and do another back-to-back before the customer takes delivery of the car. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. I almost forgot. I was walking out the door. I already had my jacket on. I'm like, oh no, I have to show the improvements on the L99 car that we just put a BTR Stage 2 LS3 cam in. Anyways, the headers didn't come in, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to do that, but I did get to clean that intake off, you know, so no, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so if you guys remember in the last video, it made 340 rear wheel horsepower with the stock tune file with just the intake and the catback exhaust. And then I tuned it and it made 358 rear wheel horsepower. So we picked up 18 rear wheel horsepower with the tune. So now we did just the camshaft, no other changes because the headers didn't come. So anywho, you see here, you know, it really starts to take off right at about 4,050 RPM. The old base was 340 and then it made 358 after a tune. So now with a camshaft we're 393, almost 394. I was kind of just seeing a lot of plateaus and picking and timing a little bit here in the bottom, so I'll wait for the headers to get really crazy with it. Made like 6 or 8 different passes on it, changed AFR a little bit. It wasn't making any drastic changes. So anywho, where it used to be, it makes obviously a ton more out here. I mean, it was really going to start to fall off. I left the limiter in it before, so you know, we're 45-50 horsepower in spots higher. As expected, we're, you know, 30 to 35 foot-pounds of torque lower, and that's the reason in seeing these curve differences right here is the fact of when you do a camshaft that's larger than stock, you say, all right, now I have to do a 3600 or a 3800 stall converter to get the converter to flash, to get the engine in the RPM band where it's actually making good power. And that's the difference, and it's cool to see this on a graph and have it explained. So obviously the BTR2 shines all over up top compared to the factory camshaft, and then just carries power all the way out almost to 6500. So it's just a substantially better gain everywhere from 4,000 and up. And like we said, is the point in having the converter is you lose torque down low. So it's really sweet. I just wanted to show that, guys, show you guys that, and kind of reiterate and pick up where we left off. I was really hoping the headers were going to be here, but then everyone would have been like, oh, you just gained 40 rear wheel horsepower because it's got headers on it. No, it was a cam too. So just want to show you guys that. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. We're going to try to get some stuff wrapped up here soon and make some videos. I got some supercharged CTSV stuff, getting some cam and long tubes and flex fuel, so we'll make a video on that one next. I think that stuff should be in here relatively quick. All the way from 2500 and up, it picked up torque over the manifolds with the cats on it. It carried power farther, had a better power band, and you're talking all of 20 to 25 to 30 to 35 to 45 to 50 horsepower up top of the tire. That's massive. That's huge. That's awesome. Right on par. I figured 420 to 440 is where we fall through the L99 automatic with the BTR2. It is just excellent. I'm super stoked. I never have back-to-back a cam vehicle with cast manifolds and cats, and then done it back-to-back with the headers. I've always just done every package at once, so that's pretty sweet. Like I said, I mean, you're talking 45 to 48 wheel horsepower right there. That is huge. That is super good. And all the way through the curve, I mean, you're talking 30, 40 foot-pounds of torque just at 3,500. So we're going to do a 3,600 FTI billet triple disc in this, and it's going to, I mean, you're going to be right back into peak torques 50 higher now. So now it's better than it was stock right there. That is fantastic. So super awesome. All right, guys, so thanks for checking this out. This was a pretty in-depth thing. We did like 4 or 5 different modifications and steps, as you guys seen in the video. But we finally finished up Hardman's Camaro. I just messed with it for an extra 2 hours for no reason, and I picked up 3 wheel horsepower and a little bit of torque though. So I did find some under the curve, which is going to feel nice. But anyways, yeah, I actually was really shocked on this. This was the first time I've ever done separate stages like that, if you want to call it. I've never dynoed one with each individual modification personally, and I did not think the headers were going to pick up that much, but that just shows how much that those 4 catalytic converters and the short primaries and the cast manifolds cause restriction in these LS3 cars, or L99, same thing basically. Valve reliefs, you know, 2 cc's or 3 cc's left, I think, less. That's all I think it is. I think they have a heavier intake valve, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, yeah, it's really impressive actually. So, and I've done a ton of these cars in the past, and they always make 430 or 440. So when it made 393 without the without the long tubes, when it still had the cats, I was like, man, this one something might be wrong with this one. Jeez, what's up, you know? But through the headers on there, I didn't even touch the tune on it. I literally made a run. It leaned out to like 1370 AFR. There was no spark knock at all, so we got lucky there. But brought it back down 1280, 1290. Found them last few rear wheel horsepower and quite a bit of torque underneath the curve. So it definitely woke it up quite a bit down there, getting the fuel back into it. It wasn't out of this world lean, but I mean 1370 is on the edge. Hot day or something like that, you don't want to run them that lean. Usually on these cars, they're a little heavier and people beat the crap out of them. We'll go 1260 to 1280 AFR. Like if I was racing it, I'd mess around with a 13.1 or something like that maybe. Depends on how it goes, depends on where it's at as far as you know, which RPM and stuff. A little more fuel and peak torque, of course. But anyways, thanks for checking this out. I learned a couple things myself. Well, one thing, I never realized that the factory cats on these LS3 cars were that restrictive, because even the Silverados are not that bad. So that was pretty cool. That was the first time I've done this test on these specific cars, and it was a big shocker to me too, so that was pretty sweet. Definitely, it's gonna be nice for me when customers in the future are like, hey, what is this gonna gain, or what is this? And I'll be like, check out the video. We got it all right there. But anyways, have a Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Christmas Eve today, so have a Merry Christmas and enjoy your time and all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll catch you later.